Good morning. It is uh, October 19th, 2021. And today, just talking about faith and the action of faith. You know, I sometimes am just baffled how I didn't, like, I thought I understood it, and I think I did. I just don't know. It didn't relate. I don't know how I am where I am compared to where I was then. It's hard for me to see it sometimes because you know I didn't live. I thought that faith was my number one attribute and spiritual gift was faith because I believed. And I believed that God was God, and I just but there were some things I guess I didn't believe. It is not that I didn't believe it; it's that I believed them in a theoretical, if that's the word, fashion, where I was like, okay, well, this I believe God, and I'm just going to say I believe it. Um, but I didn't act it out in my life. My life was not representing the belief that I had. And, I had read it, I had seen it, I somewhat knew of it, all the different things in the Bible, the promises, the calling, um, and just never really fully tapped in, never dove in. I was always standing on the edge, like putting my foot in, tipping my toe into the water of this walk, this faith, you know. And actually, I might have been sitting down on the edge with my feet in the water, but I never fully jumped in the pool and submerged myself and surrendered myself to this God who I claim to know. And I just it's it's so beyond me to understand how I even got here. And it was like, Kaizen, you know, um, Kirk Samuels comes up with that. It's like a Chinese or something like that saying of one block at a time over a long period of time creates change. And, for the last 6 months, almost 6 months, it started out in these little steps of trusting God and telling my story, my death to self, and really trusting God by taking a step, and that was a plunge. I'm going to tell you the death to self challenge that I did was like a plunge into the pool, and obviously it was every day. It was a jump. Like, it's not like you just jump into the pool and you're there and it's all okay and gravy. No, it's a daily jump. It's a moment by moment. Like, what the thing is that it's like you get used to it. It's not like you get used to it. You get encouraged because you see the result of it, that it's not death, that you're not going to drown. In fact, it's producing life, and the consequence of taking the plunge is the promises of God. And watching the Bible come to life in your life is a beyond encouraging thing. It is you talk about growing your faith. like, like I look at my faith before and I'm like, man, I didn't have no faith. My faith was dead. I thought I had some faith, but man, I am. I mean, I just. It is so crazy how so crazy how encouraging it is, and how God is real. It's one thing to say something and to, I spent a lot of time acting as if, and it was with Christianity too, in a lot of ways. I act as if I had faith. I act as if I believed. I act as if this, coming out of treatment, act as if there's a concept. If you act as if long enough, you'll figure it out. You'll get there. And I did that. And the thing is that I just there was a level or an a point of which I would not put myself out there, because I had to have a back door. And I always had, I would, there's plenty of people that believe so, but I always kept myself, it was like I was guarded. I was like, man, I have to have, I don't want to falter, and I just want to have, I want to feel safe. I didn't feel safe throwing myself in the pool. And so, I would say stuff, but in reality, my faith was, I kind of think of it as more of a faith that was, I wanted others to see my faith. I wanted others to believe I had faith in God. And so anything I said or did was to show them my faith. And now it's transformed into, um, I have faith in you, God, and I want you to see my faith because I trust you. And my faith is in trusting you. My faith is in showing my desire to trust you more and to lean on you. And that's where my faith has transitioned from being a show to everybody else that I had faith to being a relationship with God, that my faith is depending on him. Um, and he's showing it, it's building it, and it's growing. And so I'm just the action steps, and it's not like you just do one thing. Like that's the thing, is it's not just a one-time deal. This is um, Then Jesus said to his disciples, if anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and pick up his cross and follow me. Whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man will come in the glory of his Father and with his angels, and then he will reward each according to his works. And I don't base the works. So I used to think of this salvation, these the kind of based off the works, that he will give according to their works. And after some time, I'm confident in my salvation because it's based off of grace. It's based off of the work that Jesus did. I received him. He's my Lord and Savior. I've accepted that. I've professed it. I've claimed it. I trust it. I trust him, and I trust the work he did to bring me into salvation. But I do also believe that there's, from then on, after you receive new life and you are born again, you are given a life to live. And then after that, you have this sanctification process where you are giving. It's a fork in the road every time. There's a decision. Every morning I get up, there's a decision that I have to make. Every day there's multitudes of decisions I have to make, left or right, God or myself, trust or not trust. There's tons of decisions. And those decisions, when I make a decision, um, are considered the works and the deeds that I do. The decision I make is the deed I do, the work that I put in. Right. So when I choose to sacrifice, or I choose to give up my time, or I choose to love somebody that's unlovable, or if I choose to do things according to what God is saying in his word, I choose him, and I'm putting in work towards him that will be rewarded. If I choose my flesh, if I choose this world, if I choose laziness, comfort, whatever, if I choose material stuff, if I choose fleshly desires, the reward, I will reap a reward of death, of spiritual death, not death in like I'm not going to heaven, like just death of um, you know, it's more so just a spiritual thing. Like there's a kingdom in heaven. There's a kingdom of God that you can live and receive here while on earth. Like this peace, this comfort, this joy, this love, this long suffering, this all these things, the fruit of the spirit. Those are things that you can receive and enjoy here while on this earth before you die. That is a part of heaven. And so um, I just want to receive that stuff. And so putting my faith into action by trusting him. And obviously, I'm only in the beginning. Like, these are little baby steps compared to what I'm like. I feel like I'm like jumping off a diving board. Man, that was loud. Diving board. And, I'm getting good. And it's not that I'm getting good. It's that I'm receiving God in a way, and there's experience. There's no substitute for experience. Well, I would say that there's there's God's training and sanctification. The sanctification process is somewhat, I would say, it's somewhat based off of experience too. You have an experience with God, it creates faith. And he's training us, and he doesn't just snap his fingers and then all of a sudden you're perfect. No, he uses our experience, he uses our life, he uses our day-to-day walk to produce the sanctification, the transformation, the change, to become more like him. He prunes us. He uses this word. Like, there's a process that we have to choose and seek and follow and put in the time, the effort. And I forgot where I was going with that, other than the fact that I'm looking at this jumping into the pool. I jumped in, and then, maybe today I'm on a diving board, and I'm diving in, and I did a cannonball, whatever. Um, but it's only the beginning. Like, a lot of people might think that I'm really in there and I'm going, but no, like, I'm sitting here like I'm not even in the deep end yet. Like, I'm not even close to being anywhere. Like, I mean, throwing myself out there and trusting in God, and really trusting in God, like, you know, I believe that He will use us where we are. And if, I fully, like, I'm feeling this sensation, this not sensation, I'm feeling this sense, this thing, like, I might be called to walk away from my business. I might be called to walk away from this property. I might be called to go into ministry. Who knows? And I feel like this prepping is happening. Like God is preparing me for these things. And then, so today, every day I get up and I'm like, man, I need to stay pliable, prepared, and ready for that calling to happen, because and to continue to give up this business, like, in this, my truck, and the things in my life that could be idols, and make sure that they're continually on the block of surrender, that at any moment, if God calls for them, that I don't have an attachment. So I'm like living this day by day in a thought process, in a way to where it's like any moment I will give it away, and trying to live that out every day, because He could, and really, I am. If He does, then whatever it is, that's His choice. I believe, I have faith, and I trust God, and yes, I am. I It's crazy, um, but it's real, and I'm okay with it. I will be okay wherever I go. I will be okay with whatever I do, as long as I continue to trust God. The more I can trust Him, the better it gets. Um, and it's not the better it gets in material wise, the worldly wise, the better it gets in my relationship with Him. And so this was a long discussion. Um, and so, yeah, I don't know. The good thing is I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to stress on it. I don't have to, I don't have to think about what's going to happen too much from now. Like, oh God, are you going to take my business away? No, it's like, oh God, what do you got today? And what door are you going to open to where it leads to me walking away from this? You know, uh, like, what is it? Where are you going to lead me? Because in reality, it's Him that I'm following. It's him that I'm chasing. It's him that I am submitting to and surrendering my life to. And so no matter what I give up, no matter what it is, it's because it's for him. And so whatever it is good. It's not bad, and it's not something to worry about. It's something to be excited about, because if he calls me into something else, then obviously it's something better. Um, and yeah, it's a good thing. So I talk about this stuff, and it's I'm telling you, before it would seem crazy, but now it seems exciting. And so I don't know. Who knows? The crazy life of following Jesus. Pick up your cross. All right. Talk to you later. Maybe if I can hit